On Wednesday, the Suns land much-needed help at center, acquiring Nick Richards and 1 second-round pick from Charlotte for Josh Okogie and 3 second-round picks. Nick Richards has averaged 11.3 points per game, 10.2 rebounds per game, and 1.7 blocks per game in 9 starts this season with the Charlotte Hornets. So you can definitely see the potential, and now with a more bigger and more serious role on the Phoenix Suns, we can finally see how good Nick Richards really is. This move right here is kind of reminding me of like that Dallas move when they moved for Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington. You know what I'm saying? Just getting good players from bad teams, and you can see them get better. You know what I'm saying? Because now they're actually playing for something. They're actually playing winning basketball. And you can always see players, you know, get so happy when they can actually play for something meaningful. When you playing for teams like Charlotte and teams that's tanking, it gets old. You know what I'm saying? Those players get tired of, you know, being in those situations. And this is another situation like that. Nick Richards was ready to get out of Charlotte and go win. So they shipped him out to a team that definitely needed him in Phoenix. So this is also a good trade because Richards' contract is really, really valuable. We know the Suns is, you know, paying out a lot of money to the big three and others, so they can't do too much via trade. So that's why another reason I like this move is smart. You know, they didn't take in more money. He's set to make $5 million this year and next year, which is, like I said, a very valuable contract for the Phoenix Suns specifically. And I also like this move because it addresses their center problem as they, you know, look to, you know, move Nurkic. They took Nurkic out of the rotation completely, and they look to move Nurkic via trade this deadline. And I expect them to package Nurkic up with maybe some picks or another player very, very soon. I think that's their next goal, is to trade Nurkic. I'm very, very surprised that Nurkic wasn't a part of that trade. But in the comments on the Instagram post, everybody was saying the Charlotte Hornets declined Nurkic. Like the Suns probably did, you know, offer Nurkic in this move for the Charlotte Hornets, but they didn't want Nurkic. It wouldn't make sense for Nurkic to be in Charlotte. But, you know, I think at this point, Phoenix just want to get rid of Nurkic any way possible. So anybody that want Nurkic is probably going to get him. Hopefully, like I said, very soon they can move Nurkic for something. Honestly, anything. You know, just get Nurkic out of there. You don't need him no more. Now that you got Nick Richards and Mason Plumlee in your rotation, their center situation is completely figured out, and I'm happy. As a Kevin Durant fan, I'm super happy to see them get better at center position because Nurkic has been a problem all season long. Every single Phoenix Suns fan I know wants to get rid of Nurkic. Like, there's not any positive there's never no positive comments about Nurkic when he's out there on the floor. He just looks like he just like lack, I don't know, aggressiveness as a center. I don't know, like you would think he'll play a lot more, you know, powerful, as you know, he looks big, you know what I'm saying? He looks big, but he just don't do much well on the court. And for a team that's trying to contend for a championship, you know, with a big three like Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, you need a solid center, and Nurkic has not been that. He used to be decent, but I don't know what happened to Nurkic, man. So I definitely like this trade, man. You get younger at center. Richards also knows his role out there. Like, he's athletic, and he's also a good lob threat. Now, I know Phoenix is not a team to throw a lot of lobs. That's because they don't got any lob threats. Now they actually has a lob threat. They can actually, now you can actually see Phoenix throw up some lobs. You can actually see Tyus Jones throw a lob to Nick Richards because, you know, like I said, Richards is just good at knowing his role. He's a good screen setter, a good roller. So you're going to see a lot of times Tyus Jones and Nick Richards running that pick and roll real good. And like I said, man, he's just a good rebounder, and he's just an all-around better center than Nurkic. I'm telling you, like I said, you look at Nick Richards' stats right now, they look a little flat because he's playing on the Charlotte Hornets. He's not playing any meaningful basketball in Charlotte, not getting the most minutes. But I'm pretty sure in Phoenix now he's going to be a starter. He's going to be starting at center. So his stats is going to boost. I said this trade is very, very much reminding me of that Daniel Gafford trade when Dallas did it. They just traded for a good center out of a bad situation, and it worked very well for him because, like I said, now Nick Richards is going to come into the Phoenix Suns a lot more confident, not more confident, but more motivated to play because now he's actually playing. He's most likely going to be playing in the playoffs with this team. So, and like I said, for Phoenix need him too. You know what I'm saying? Phoenix actually need him more than he needs them at this point because, Man, the Phoenix Suns is in a bad hole right now. The Phoenix Suns, yep, is currently 11th in the West behind the Golden State Warriors. And you at least got to get in that playing slot. So at this time of the season, you have to make the most moves possible, I think, in my opinion. Obviously, just, you know, don't trade Kevin Durant, Devin Booker. They still got to address the Bradley Beal situation. I don't know if they're moving Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal does have a trade clause. So he has all, you know, he has all power in what happens in him getting moved. But I did see reports that he's open to getting traded to Miami. What was it? Miami, I think the Lakers, and there was another team, I can't remember. But I don't know. It just seems like Bradley Beal don't want to get moved. It wouldn't make, like, if you think about it in Bradley Beal's perspective, it wouldn't make sense in his perspective to go to Miami. That is taking a step back. That's going to a younger team, a team that's most, like, if he goes to Miami, they're not getting any better. I'm pretty sure Miami don't want Brad. You know what I'm saying? Bradley Beal has a big injury history. Bradley Beal's trade value is not as good as it was when Phoenix acquired him. So that's why it's just so tough for the Phoenix Suns right now. It do seem like the Phoenix Suns would prefer to have Jimmy over Bradley Beal. I'm just saying, because as soon as the Bradley Beal rumors arose, for one, the Phoenix Suns didn't address it. They didn't come out and say anything about, hey, we're keeping Brad. We glad to have Brad here. They didn't address the trade rumors. Not just that, but they took Bradley Beal out of the starting rotation. Bradley Beal is coming off the bench for the Phoenix Suns right now. And he's not happy with that. He's came out and said that in an interview. He said he feels like he's a starter in this league, but, you know, he's willing to come off the bench. So you could tell it seemed like the Phoenix Suns is just trying to put Bradley Beal in that, you know, situation to where he wants to move. So yeah, man, I'm actually pretty excited to see what they're going to do with Bradley Beal, because that's like the biggest clout they have over their team right now. And you don't want that, you know, you don't want that going into the playoffs and stuff. You don't want all that speculation and, you know, all that distraction on the team. You want, you know, focus. So if you need to move Bradley Beal, if you're not going to move him, you need to just make that clear, you know. So I don't know what's going to happen with Bradley Beal at this point. I think if they do want to move Bradley Beal for Jimmy Butler, they're going to have to get a third team involved, because I don't think Miami and Bradley Beal make sense right now, okay? In my opinion, that's my opinion. I don't think Bradley Beal to Miami makes sense. A little bit it does, but you got Tyler Herro over there, and they're just young. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Bradley Beal and his injury history makes sense going to Miami, me personally. So I would like to see a third team get involved and maybe see Jimmy land in Phoenix. I'm not going to lie. If Jimmy lands in Phoenix, that makes this team better defensively automatically, especially, and I think that would just be a better fit with Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, as they're just elite scorers. You know what I'm saying? They already have two elite scorers, and adding Bradley Beal just didn't make sense. I always see stuff like they want Bradley Beal to play like that Drew Holiday role, and that's just not who he is. Bradley Beal is just a scorer. He was always just a scorer in Washington. Like I said, he averaged, 30, like 2 times in his career. So Bradley Beal is just a scorer. You're trying to put him in a new role that's not fitting for him. So I like to see them move Bradley Beal personally. I don't think it's going to be easy, but if you can move Bradley Beal for a Jimmy Butler, I think that makes sense for the Suns. You guys let me know down below in the comments how you feel about the Suns moving from Nick Richards. I love this move for Nick Richards, man. I think we're going to see his full potential on display now. I love this move. And like I said, it addresses all your problems. But like I said, man, let me know down below in the comments how you feel about today's video and the trade for Nick Richards. I love you guys. See you in the next video. You dig?